Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. 1, 4, and 5, they're the primary chords, any major key. The 1, 4, and 5 chords, they're going to be major triads, right? Or maybe a seventh chord built on 5. Listen, it's not always true. In fact, I've been listening to songs lately with an ear for a special kind of 5 chord. I call it the soft 5. Let's talk about what I mean. I've got my guitar in my hand because I first noticed this in the score for Brokeback Mountain, Santalala's Grammy winning score. So this beautiful kind of country sound tinged with sadness. So the 5 chord is D minor. We're in the key of G, and it goes 5, 4, 1. 5, 4, 1, except the 5 chord is minor. It's sad and soft and beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about why. Maybe I can explain why. Maybe I can't. Maybe it's just one of those mysteries of chords, and maybe a few songs. Because the thing is, this happens to me every year. I have to out myself as being a fan of the TV show The Voice. So I'm listening to The Voice the other day, and let's go to the screen here. And I was listening to one of the competitors, and they sang Brandi Carlile's song, The Joke. And The Joke is gorgeous too. The first chord is D. And the next chord is A minor, but it's A minor with the G as, I think, the melodic tone, and that makes it A minor 7, a very soft 5. G, and the G hangs out there, that dissonant tone has now dissolved. There's evaporating dissonance, and then down to the F sharp, which is the third of D. It's a great chord progression. As I was hearing that in my head, I also thought to myself, well, Brandi Carlile, great songwriter, kind of country tinged, but I think I've heard that song before. I think I've heard that chord progression before. Again, it's going back. I'm thinking about Brokeback Mountain. Of course, I recognize immediately the minor 5, and I think, well, that Adam Lambert did a cover of Duran Duran's Ordinary Day, and if you look at Ordinary Day, it's the same thing. The soft 5. So the soft 5 does something that violates the conventions of 19th century harmony. And just a quick review, the 1 chord, I'm going to stay in the key of D, why not? The 1 chord is always going to be major, as is the 4 chord. And it's because we're just keeping the triads to notes that are in the scale. Ordinarily, the 5 chord would be major as well. And this is a very conventional sound. 1, 5, 4, 1. But if we change the C sharp, the major third of the 5 chord, to C natural, we get a minor third. And a couple of things happen when we do that. First of all, that A chord might be A7, the dominant chord on 5, which very naturally wants to resolve back to 1. Now, if I change the C sharp to C natural, that tritone built into the dominant chord loses its sting. It's no longer there, and it doesn't have the same push. It doesn't have the same energy. It doesn't have the same brittleness and kind of strange excitement that makes it want to resolve. Well, if you take away that energy, you make it softer. This is why I say it's soft. It's kind of like sort of the gentle version of the 5 chord. Getting a lot of pops and crackles today, and I apologize for that. I don't know why. Listen, I love that effect. I wonder how it would sound in some conventional chord progressions. For instance, we know the 1 chord, the 5 chord, the minor chord 6, and then the 4 chord, right? That's what we think of as the axis chord progressions. And 1, 5, 4, 6, 4 could be changed to the minor version. So here we go. 1, 5, 6, 4. So interesting. 1, 5, 6, 4. Do you hear the softness and strangeness? I think part of what makes it strange and soft is the fact that we've basically changed the scale. What was D major, D Ionian, you can see it's written down there, has become D Mixolydian. In other words, this is a borrowed scale from G major. It has all the same notes of the G major scale, but because we establish D as the tonic of the scale, we wind up with a different color. I've been thinking a lot about how modes can be used in pop music lately, and we actually do use them in pop music, and just we're not really always aware of it because our ear gravitates towards the energy of the Ionian mode, the ordinary major mode. It's a really powerful technique. Well, I just love this idea of taking the dominant chord and just softening it up a little bit, making it a little more relaxed energy. Let's play around with it a little bit more. So let's go 5, 4, 1. This soft 5 chord. I hope I've explained it in a way that feels like you can then go ahead and use it. There's definitely just freedom in it for you. There's anytime you got a 5 chord in your progression, ask yourself the question, well, what if it was not a major 5? What if it was a minor 5? It's not a big change, but it adds affect and color and flavor to like any chord progression. I'm just a big fan of it. I think my ear tends to hear it now. I'm really alert to it in pop music. And maybe now that we've talked about it, you'll notice it cropping up in some of your favorite songs. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe, ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. I will see you next time.